finally let's come to the tire. Now your tire training is sort of the same thing as, it looks to mimic the same sort of effect as a Muay Thai guy or a boxer working on a heavy bag. This is where I'm going to practice delivering power to something. In the beginning, or just for now, you can stick to just your angle 1 and angle 2, right? Delivering them hard while still keeping a good solid follow through, while still sticking to your basic angles on your right side and your left side. There are many other drills that we can work with on the tire, but for now, just to begin with, let's just stick to our angle 1s and our angle 2s. If you don't have somebody to hold a tire, you can tie up a tire the way I have, or just there are many different ways of setting a tire up, as long as you have that sort of target to hit with. I like a tire over a bag because a bag can sometimes tear. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my weapon leg in front and I'm going to measure distance to the tire. I'm looking to hit with the top 2/3 of my stick. The other thing to remember is I don't want this to happen to my wrist. I want to keep that angle of either 90 degrees or a little bit more than 90 degrees. I'm going to start out in the beginning by not hitting too hard. One of the mistakes I made when I started working on the tire was I started out by hitting too hard, and then my shoulders and my elbows and my wrists just kept getting injured and injured. So now what I generally tell people to do is to start with less power and low reps, and as the body adapts to this new stress, increase the power and increase the reps. So what I'm going to start with, I'm going to keep my hand weapon leg in front. I'm going to chamber. The same rules for strikes apply here. I want to go from the shoulder. I want to still keep my diagonal lines, and I want a nice big follow through. So I'm going to start super easy. Hit, nice follow through. Hit. One of the things that you will run into often is because there's now something in your way, you will tend to get jammed over here. Just remember to think of hitting through the tire, cutting through the tire. So I'm cutting through the tire, 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 through the tire. Now as you get more and more comfortable, you can slowly increase the power. But one of the other problems that you might find when you start increasing the power, increasing the speed, increasing the reps, is you might find your stick start to sort of slide away. One of the things that we are always very careful of, especially when somebody holds the tire for you, is that you don't accidentally throw your stick at him. So please be aware, whenever you need to stop to readjust your stick, stop to readjust your stick. As you get more and more comfortable with this, your stick will get more stable in your hand, and you may not need to adjust as often as you will in the beginning. So again, weapon hand in front, weapon leg in front, just my angle 1, just my angle 2, having a nice solid follow through on both. At no point am I going to do this. I want to keep my stance solid on the ground. And as you get more comfortable, you can slowly increase the power. But take your time with it. So you can start out with no power, increase it a bit, and slowly hit harder and harder. But now the next problem you might find when you start hitting harder is you might start adding a bigger wind up to it. You want to still keep your wind up as minimum as possible. You don't want to get used to telegraphing a strike. You still want to be able to hit powerfully just from this loading position, and not necessarily need to either pull back, lift maybe, or have a bigger arc. You still want to learn to deliver power from a tighter loading position and a tighter arc. Apart from that, it's just about repetition. Start out with maybe reps of 50 on each hand, go 50, 50, 50, 50, and then slowly build up from there.